Hi, this is Asha Saxena for Intelligent Luxury. Welcome to the show.
And I'm Julie Foppel, Asha's co-host. Welcome. Welcome right back.
You have to stop making me laugh.
Because I'm funny, Asha.
I know.
That's like that is what I bring to this whole thing.
Oh my God, okay, I know.
You're the brains of the operation, and I am the funny sister.
I know, you really are.
Yeah. When you and I met,
Yes.
we were immediately friends. The more we got to know each other, the more our thinking was so aligned in terms of this being such a pivotal time in both data and technology and everything that you work in, and luxury and kind of lifestyle and everything that is my discipline. We're in Scottsdale, Arizona, and we're in this beautiful facility, and the fact that you came in for an event being hosted by Realm, real estate and technology has not necessarily been something that has gone hand in hand historically, but it's such an act of friendship, and I think what you're seeing is there's so much curiosity around what you're doing and how it is innovating aspects of our lives that we never even anticipated.
Absolutely. But I also have to tell you, the reason I'm doing it because I love you so much. And I think that's what the world needs now. We have AI, we have machines, we have programs, and we have so much data. But what really matters at the end is the relationship. It's the human connection. I'm super excited about this podcast. The audience will enjoy so much because we are going to have fun while doing it.
It's always fun with you, Asha.
Thank you, everyone. And please continue watching because we're going to have guests who come from all around the world and going to talk about luxury in real estate.
We have a lot to look forward to.
Looking forward to it.
Welcome back to another episode of Intelligent Luxury. I'm your host, Julie Foppel, and today we are coming to you from the Realm Global Collective, which we are hosting in Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm joined by Philip Hordijk, who is an incredible principal, entrepreneur, and amazing thought leader from New York City. Philip, welcome.
Thank you, Julie, for having us yet again.
Yeah, it's so fun to be here, in a totally new destination and kind of experiencing things in a whole new kind of light.
Indeed,
Yeah.
And this is my second RGC, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, so Philip, let's talk a little bit about, intelligent luxury, kind of the framework of this podcast, which is all about the intersection between where technology and luxury kind of meet. Mm-hmm. You are so interesting because you're growing a brokerage, you're growing a sphere of influence. And how would you define intelligent luxury kind of within that paradigm?
Thank you for that question. So I gave it some thought, not just on the way here on the plane, but last week as well. And I think these are interesting times because if you think about luxury, it's a term that may have been overused by now. And it used to be a number. It used to be 30 years ago, probably $1 million. Then it became 10 years ago, $4 million. I don't think it's a number anymore, Julie. I think it's access. So the intelligence that we're talking about when it comes to luxury is the access to unique, whether it's properties or lifestyles or regions or, living in separate places, different parts of the year to really maximize people's lifestyle and life enjoyment.
Well, so that's interesting because I think, what we do kind of as real estate professionals, as purveyors of lifestyle, we give people access to kind of whatever they want. But I think access to information is also really kind of key in all of that and in kind of expediting that whole process. I mean, are you finding that with your clients and with the people that you're advising that they're coming in with more information than ever, or how do you think it's changed kind of through the span of your career?
They're definitely asking deeper questions. It's no longer, hey, what do you have? Or, hey, what do you think of this property? It's like, hey, I saw this, I like it on paper, but the price doesn't make sense. What's wrong with it? Can you give me some insights? Mm-hmm. So it's way more to the point than it used to be. And, they're also fact checking whatever you're saying. So if you're just talking out of, like a conversation mode and you're like, oh yeah, this could be a
selling,
nice, exactly. If you're really selling, then, watch out, because they're going to fact check on their way home and Claude will have an opinion for them.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that AI has all the answers, but they do offer answers that you will have to then deal with, because they have another advisor, whether it's Google or the ChatGPT, that is advising them whether you like it or not.
Mm-hmm. It's so interesting because it's such a time of where I feel like people are trusting us with more than they ever have. I mean, you look at this transition of wealth, you look at kind of the scope and the scale of these properties and of their families and what we are kind of dealing with, and it goes so much further than just the transaction. But on the other side of that, you still have things like deep fakes and misinformation. And, have you run across that? And how do you deal with that kind of in your day-to-day?
Well, there's a lot of social media content that, whether it's deep fake or not, there's just a lot out there. I think Netflix and the usual suspects have contributed to this, that, is that really true? And 90% of it may not have been true, but it still exists as a comparison in people's heads, in their minds, because they saw that it was so easy, or they saw that you can do this, when that is also television, or that is a lot of social media is showing properties that are not even the agent's property. They're just trying to showcase and grab attention. We're in a attention market, I would say. It's no longer about Google ads, or it's no longer about your New York Times advertising. It's about, can I grab people's attention in whatever way possible?
Yeah.
Whether it's for myself and my own betterment or of my business or of the property. How do I grab your attention when your average attention is 5 to 10 seconds max, right? So
it turns into kind of sensationalism.
Correct.
Right, and that's what's making people tune in. That's what's, kind of creating a lot of buzz. And I mean, especially in marketplace, and correct me if you feel differently, but I think with our clientele, they don't necessarily want all of that noise around what they're doing.
Correct.
They value discretion.
They do value discretion. They value honest opinions, right? They don't want to be sold. They're like, okay, just tell me the truth. And some of them, I'm dealing with some of them right now. They may come in very aspirational, and they may want an aspirational number for their property. But if you just give them time, they'll come around and start listening, because if you fight them on their desire, you will not win. Yeah. They live in their own world. They're in charge of their desires. But if you let them come visit you and reality in some points, then there's a conversation to be had. And and at the end of the day, we also don't always have the answers, right? There was a property in Tribeca last year, and I would have eaten my shoe if it would have gotten over $6 million. And it just went into contract for 6.3. You just don't know, right? Well, so who are we other than, yes, conveying the information that pertains to the question at hand, showing different strategies, and guiding them through the process.
So, Philip, you are in one of the most sophisticated and, I believe, complicated markets in the world. How do you stay sane? I mean, coming from the mountain girl.
Do I look sane? Yeah. I don't know. No,
I love that.
I go to the gym sometimes,
and scream into
run.
your pillow.
Scream into a pillow. I guess I'm addicted to the puzzle. So that's when you think about starting your own brokerage on top of being an independent contractor to begin with, it's the puzzle. It's the how do all the puzzle pieces fit together. Where can you stand out? Which battles you can't win, so don't even go there. And all at the same time of providing an environment for your clients and your agents to have success.
It's such a delicate balance, and then you factor in kind of industry noise and technology noise, and then all of the forces that kind of converge in a city like New York. And it really is, there are a lot of different factors that you're filtering all the time. How do you prioritize? What does that look like?
Prioritizing is my calendar. I live by my calendar. So it's not in my calendar, I'm probably going to forget. So therefore, I put everything in my calendar, including brushing my teeth.
Well, brilliant, though.
Yes.
Yeah, and you have a great smile, by the way.
Thank you. But, the prioritizing part is really hard. And it continues to be hard because there's a gazillion things coming your way. And out of let's say, the 25 things that you're touching in a day, maybe 2 matter. Mm-hmm. Another 8 are important, but you shouldn't be doing. And then there's 15 noise elements going and zooming around, right? Mm-hmm. So that's really the challenge in protecting your time and knowing when to say no when it really doesn't further your goals of that day, that week, that month. And I feel still, we all do probably, because it's hard to stay on task when there's so many, factors coming your way. But at the end of the day, you have to just block time and say, no phone, no nothing, no emails. This is my task. This is what I need to focus on. Whether it's, a conversation with your favorite AI to build strategy or just to look out the window and really have some deep thought. But otherwise, you're just a reaction. And I think that's the biggest pitfall that most agents, I think, are in. It's like they're reactive. They're not proactive.
Yes.
They're reactive 99% of their days, which means you can't really change your situation because you are a product of your situation, right?
That's right.
So you need to step out of the situation, delegate more, let go of what you think you should be doing, and let other people do it for you, whether it's in a different way or not the perfect way, because otherwise you will not be free.
Well, and so then as you look at kind of the future and where our industry is headed, one of the things that I love about an event like this and about kind of connecting with real estate professionals like you is we do have the ability to kind of see around a lot of corners. Mm-hmm. Where do you think things are headed? What in 5 years we're going to be sitting back here having another podcast? What does that look like? What will we be talking about?
I truly think that if you are a buyer's agent in this market, you're going to have a hard time. They always said, list to last. Now it's list to survive. I don't think that many agents will have enough added value on the buy side unless it's the very, very high end to survive. Mm-hmm. If you're competing with AI or people doing it themselves and the Zillows and all these aggregators of the world, it was already hard. But if it comes to a point where you're in a bidding war and your offer comes in with 2.5% extra to your buy side, the seller is going to choose another way, another direction. Mm-hmm. So I'm very, not concerned, but very aware of what that might mean in the 5 to 10 year time span. And you're seeing less agents, which I'm a fan of, because there's definitely some cleaning.
Yeah, we can definitely kind of call the herd a little bit. Yeah.
And we can do with more intentional, right? Mm-hmm. And I think the days of potentially, I have a friend or my mother has a license or, those stories I hear much less of.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, when you occupy that role of the elevated role of a trusted advisor, it becomes so much less about like how you're monetizing the transaction and more like you become indispensable to the family or to the affluent who you're serving. Right.
And so often we're reaching out, we're following up. But we're following up most of the time in ways where it's like, oh, look at this place, or look at that, or how are you doing? How are the kids?
Yeah.
Usually, the best follow-ups that I have are really a question of, I was thinking about you. You've been here for 5 years, and I was wondering if you've ever contemplated a move and what that would look like. Because now you're having a more concise conversation, and the answer could be no, which is fine, and you move on. But there's so much beating around the bush in our
Yeah.
industry.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I got to hang out with these people. I got to see those people. And there's a lot of friendships being built, but not business. you know?
Yeah,
So,
it's true. It's true. Although I will say one of the things that I was struck when we first met, which was on a rooftop in New
Yes.
York, and I
was also struck.
Yeah, you were struck.
Starstruck.
Oh gosh. But you know, one of the things that I just was so struck by with you was that you are truly a community builder. You have an ecosystem around you that is really pretty amazing. You know, and so as we kind of wrap up this episode and as we're summarizing kind of your thoughts going forward, how do you personally define luxury? What does that look like for you?
I think luxury for me personally lies in freedom. I think travel is for me a big one when it comes to, you know, seeing different parts of the world, but also just looking at things differently, which geography and cities and has such a big role to play. Like, I was fascinated by the cactus today at this La Estancia, and then I walk up to a painting and there's room to paint a cactus. So I went for that, of course. Like, and you're really being yourself in a different environment. And it opens up. And that, I think it's a luxury at the end of the day to be able to be yourself. And that can be translated into real estate, into fashion, into anything you want. But I think that's what we're all after, to be ourselves.
Well, I think that you, Philip, do that with your clients. You enable that a lot, and it's a special gift, you know, where you're kind of allowing people to express themselves through their lifestyle and through, you know, kind of everything that you're bringing to them. So, thank you for sharing a bit of yourself with me today, and I'm sure looking forward to the next few days together.
Yes,
here
it'll be
in
a party.
Arizona. Yes, it will be. It will be.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us for another episode of Intelligent Luxury. I am Julie Foppel, and we will see you next time.